In this world, there are two types of people. One type is those who are always chasing after money. They always think, hey, how can I make more money? How can I get people to pay me more? How can I charge them as much as possible? And then there's the other type of person. Money chases after them. Which, I'm not saying the first way is wrong. Chasing after money is also a way to succeed. They can make you wealthy, give you a high income, and you can get rich that way too. But it's exhausting, and you might not live a truly fulfilling life. Or maybe you won't be as happy with that way of living, always having to chase after money. You might end up selling your time, selling everything just to get money, right? But to be someone who has money chasing after you, you just need to change your mindset a little bit. Instead of thinking about how to make a lot of money, you should change your thinking to focus on how to. Today, I'm going to share with you how to create content, since this is the profession I'm most skilled at. How do we make content so that we can actually earn a substantial income, or so that money comes running to us? Actually, this applies to every profession, not just content creation. If we want to make money from others, we have to help solve their problems. And the problems we solve shouldn't be too easy, because if it's an easy problem, right, then people wouldn't really need to give us their money because they can just solve it themselves. But this phrase, if you want to make money, you have to solve other people's problems, is something you hear everywhere. Everyone says this when it comes to business, right? But today, I want to share the basic principles of what kind of problem solving actually leads to making money. The kind of problem solving that will earn us money comes down to these three main points, which are basic human desires. Number 1 is health, number 2 is wealth, and number 3 is relationships. If you can solve problems in these three main areas, you'll make money. And if you can solve them in a deep, meaningful way, or if you address problems that cause people a lot of pain, those who are really struggling with these issues will be willing to pay you even more. For example, let me use myself as an example. I've solved problems related to wealth, since I talk about finances, right? And money is something that is hard to digest and difficult to keep up with. Financial topics in this world, whether it's financial news or anything else, are kind of too esoteric, like they're locked behind two layers. Not only are they in media that people are already too lazy to access it, and on top of that, they use language that's super hard to understand. You get what I mean? Actually, you probably don't, because financial topics are tough to grasp, and in Thai schools, they barely teach anything about finance. So it's already pretty hard for people to understand financial knowledge, and most of the people who talk about finance tend to use complicated words and make things even harder. But I've worked to solve this problem so people can understand finance more easily. That's why people see the value in what I do and are willing to pay for solving this problem. Now, let's talk about health. Health is actually pretty simple. If you're overweight, you don't look good. Or being short, that's a problem too. People want to fix these things. Like if you have a lot of acne, people want to get rid of it. So if we can solve these problems for them, we'll make money. Relationship. Can't find a partner, man. Problems with cheating, if you can solve that, if you can fix issues with infidelity, I guarantee you'll make a ton of money, seriously. Or even people who talk about things like sex education, they make a lot of money too. Now, let's take a look. Suppose that Now, you clearly know the three main topics that will make people more than willing to pay you if you can solve their specific problems, which are health, wealth, and relationships, right? From here on, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can crack the code and figure out what specific problem you should be solving. Let's say you want to start a new channel or create some content. The easiest way to know what problem you should solve is to simply learn from your own experiences. Grab a piece of paper and a pen, or any device you can type on, and get ready to answer this question. As soon as I finish asking, just pause and answer right away. The question is, you can choose to answer either question 1 or question 2. Here's the first question. In your life so far, what is a problem that you've managed to overcome? Something you've solved and that has made you who you are today? Pause now and answer. Don't be lazy. Or here is the second question. What is a problem you're dealing with right now that you really wish someone else could solve for you? All right, go ahead and answer. Are you done yet? Write it down. If you don't write it down, we can't move forward, okay? Now, once you've written what you need to, like today, I went to teach the kids at Thomasat, and they answered my questions in a lot of different ways. For example, one of them said, I once lost a close relative, someone I loved very much, when I was 14. At that time, my life pretty much fell apart, but I developed a mindset that helped me get through it. So even at 14, a kid can have the mindset to get through something like that, thinking, hey, how can I live with the day we lose someone we love so much at such a young age? That was a problem she managed to overcome. Or, for example, another student said that when she was younger, she had acne all over her face. She was too embarrassed to go out or take pictures, so she had to do a lot of research about what skincare to use or what treatments she could afford as a student. Eventually, she was able to improve her skin and become more confident. That's another example of someone overcoming their problems, right? Now, here is another story that is really quite interesting. She told me that when she took the university entrance exam for the very first time, she actually got into the e-commerce program at Chulalongkorn University, but she quickly realized she didn't like it at all. This particular student had always been a top-performing student ever since she was very young, so her mom naturally expected her to do well in school without any major problems. But this student ended up not liking the e-commerce program she got into, so she dropped out and transferred. Then she told her mom, and it turned out that she was so shocked that she didn't talk to her for 2 weeks. But she went ahead and applied to another place, which was the Faculty of Journalism at Thammasat University. She felt happy there. And you know what she told me? She said that the only way she got through that tough time, when her mom didn't like what she did and was really shocked that she dropped out of one university and transferred to another, was because she had the courage to be honest and straightforward with her mom. She told her mom directly that because the one who has to study is her, not her mom. That's how she was able to move forward. So that's how she was able to overcome her problems, right? As for me, the reason I became a financial content creator is because at one point, if you've ever watched my video where I talk about my life story, you'd know that I once started a company, but it went under during COVID. That made me realize I really wanted to learn about finance, but I didn't have any financial knowledge at all. I found out that, hey, if you really want to get good at something, if you want to become an expert, you just need to spend 1 hour a day doing it. And in just 1 year, you'll become an expert. So I spent 5 hours a day for 2 years intensely reading books about finance. That's how I became able to talk about financial topics. Back then, I was also trading Bitcoin and stocks, but I lost a lot, like really badly. I lost so much. I lost everything. That's when I realized, hey, what news should I be following and what do I need to know so I don't end up being an investor who gets totally wrecked and loses a ton of money like that? That's why I'm here today, to talk about finance with you. See? So what about you? What's your answer to your own question? What's your problem? Try pausing for a moment and just tell me about it. Like right now, just go ahead and share. Do you know what's great about being able to answer what problems you've overcome? You'll realize there are people out there just like you who haven't been able to get through those same problems and they want someone to share with them. Those people are your target group, and it's never just one person. Everyone has a target group. Everyone can sell. And the simple reality that you've managed to successfully navigate and overcome your own problems means you have the credibility to talk about them because you've actually walked that path yourself. And most importantly, you'll have a truly unique and powerful selling point. That is what they call a truly unique selling point is a distinct competitive advantage that effectively sets you apart from others because you know exactly how it feels if that specific problem happens, exactly how to fix it efficiently, and precisely which direction you need to take. You've already done your research and you've been through it. So you can clearly see the picture. Oh, this is exactly the right way to solve it. Once you've listed out your specific problems, the ones you've successfully overcome, once you've answered the question about how you got through it, you can go ahead and list out the series of what content are you going to create. For example, in my case, I talk about finance. My problem was, hey, if you just blindly invest in something, you could end up losing a lot. So make a list of the steps. Like, you need to be able to keep up with the news. If you need to stay updated, maybe you could have a series where you talk about news stories that investors should know about, right? And I could also cover the mindset of investors. Like, in reality, people who invest, they have to be able to fight their own greed. So what kind of mindset helps you overcome greed? And then I could also do something about a series of books to read, like a review of this book, that book, and another one. So you'll know about this, that, and the other thing. It's all real stuff that actually happens, right? What about you? What's your situation? Feel free to leave a comment and I'll reply to let you know, hey, if your problem is this, then the kind of content series you should write would look something like this. And then once that's done, once you've listed everything out, the problem you want to solve is this. And the series of content you'll create will cover topics like these. Now you can start your channel. The key is to begin by thinking about your own problems. What challenges have you overcome? That way, you'll have credibility when you talk about these topics. This approach isn't just for content. It also works for launching new products. And the next important thing is to just get started. Don't wait for everything to be perfect, just take action. If you wait until everything is perfect, someone else might beat you to it, and there could already be a lot of people doing the same thing. And another thing is, what's really important to help you stand out from others is to combine one thing with another. If you only focus on one thing, you'll have a lot of competitors. But if you bring together two areas, if you can combine two things, you'll cut your competition by about 50%. For example, there was a student in the class 1 taught today who said she used to have issues with her personality. She was the kind of kid who always looked down at the floor, but when she went to do drama training, performing in her school's theater program, she kept looking at the floor, so her seniors scolded her, saying that looking down made her seem like she had a bad personality. After that, she started reading books and listening to a lot of podcasts to help herself become more confident in her personality, right? She said that as she grew up, she became a supervisor in PR and had to incorporate technology into her work. But it turned out that the person reviewing her work now is a professor who doesn't have any knowledge about technology and has no idea that how could it possibly succeed? So I suggested that she combine developing her personality for confidence with the technology she's skilled at. If she merges those together, she'll become someone who can develop her personality and also expertly use technology to present herself. Combining personality development with technology is really unique, you know? It actually reduces the competition. Take me, for example. I'm a financial storyteller, right? But another thing I'm really skilled at is fashion, because I used to run a fashion company. So I use myself as an example by dressing in unusual ways for everyone to see. Because when I'm a financial storyteller, when it comes to storytelling, I know who tells stories in a fun way, and I can do that too. Plus, I have the fashion aspect. So these three things, finance, entertaining storytelling, and fashion, help me cut down on the competition quite a bit. If I only focused on finance and acted tough like everyone else, I'd be competing fiercely with a lot of people. But if I can combine all three, I reduce my competition. If you have expertise in something and can combine it with 2 or 3 other things, you'll reduce your competition too. That's the idea. It'll make you more unique. So you really need to find your own unique selling point. What exactly is your competitive advantage? Even if you used to have a lot of stubborn acne on your face and finally managed to fix it, you'll have more credibility when talking about acne treatment than someone who's never had a face full of acne before. That's your selling point. After that, just get started. Create your channel, and once it's set up, look for inspiration from other channels that are doing something similar to what you want to do. Then analyze what makes you click on those channels. Is it the thumbnail, the topic? Is it actually the content itself? Then really pay attention to what kind of speaking style makes you stop and want to keep watching. Take a moment to analyze that, and most importantly, write it down. If you keep watching their videos and you get bored and close it, make sure to jot down exactly what made you stop watching that video too. All of this should be based on what I mentioned earlier, carefully thinking about how to solve problems. What will help people, which is a really important point, because this is exactly what will make money come to you. If you shift your mindset from thinking about how to make a lot of money to thinking about how to help a lot of people, the money will flow to you naturally.